Hey, what's up everybody? It's Timothy here with Mana Rocks, and you can see we're using Moto today. I wanted to address something real quick. I'm not going to get into a whole Moto versus Arena debate or anything, but most of my content will be on Arena moving forward. Moto I'm going to save for these more niche type of drafts. So today we're doing Chaos Draft, which I really enjoyed. If you weren't around last time Chaos Drafts came up, the way it works is every single pack in the pod is a different pack. So we're opening... what is this, Mirrodin Besieged here, and our other two packs will be different. Excuse me, this will be the only Mirrodin Besieged pack, and we're going to try to build a deck, not knowing what else is going to be opened, right? Which is really fun in my opinion. It makes you really think on the fly here. Also means I'm going to explain cards a little bit more, and we're going for more linear strategies, like Phyrexian Rager, just a straight-up good card, doesn't necessarily need a certain type of strategy, whereas Rotwolf, which is an awesome card in Mirrodin block, is just not what we're going for, because we're not going to build an Infect deck here, right? We're not going for really peculiar strategies, because we're just not going to open Infect deck. Galvanoth is our rare. Beginning of your upkeep, you look at the top card. If it's a sorcery or instant, you cast it for free. But I do think we just take Rager here, or the Blade Juggler. If you see people comparing Blade Juggler to Phyrexian Rager, that's because, boom, Phyrexian Rager, just a good card. Could also take Sphere of the Suns, which would open up Splash in, 3-color deck, something like that. But for the most part, I think you just want to find an open color and stick to it. We have Iconic Masters here with kind of a weak-looking pack overall. There is a Viscopa Guild Mage. This is really good Guild Mage. You can pay 3 mana to give a creature lifelink, or you can pay 3 mana so that whenever you gain life for the turn, an opponent loses that much life. And it shouldn't be too hard to find ways to gain life or lifelink creatures. So I think that's going to be my pick. There's also Mana Leak, Mnemonic Wall, Repeal, which all fit in kind of a, not linear, but control strategy. Maybe I take Mana Leak here. Mana Leak is just really good, right? Not much else I'm interested in here. I'm not really interested in the Fester, Newt, or Virulent Swipe, and I don't know for sure that I want to take a gold card, so maybe I just take the control card here. Rasheen is kind of cool in Iconic Masters, but we can't guarantee we're going to get any X spells here, so I don't think I'm taking Rasheen. Beatdown usually works quite nicely. Okay, another Masters pack. This is Eternal Masters. Kind of overlooked Master set. There's Dismal Backwaters for splashing. Collision Honor Guard, really messed up card. Basically, anytime your opponent tries to target anything at all with a spell or ability, they have to choose this card as one of the targets. So if they have pump spells or anything like that, doesn't work. They have to just choose the Honor Guard. I might actually pick that. We have kind of an elf payoff here. I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think Hondens is what you're supposed to be drafting. Could also take Shoreline Ranger. It's mana fixin' and a pretty weak finisher, but a finisher nonetheless. PlayStation wants me to buy stuff. Giant Tortoise, Dismal Backwaters, Collision Honor Guard. I'm hoping to wheel Shoreline Ranger or I guess Dismal Backwaters here, but I am going to take the Collision Honor Guard because I think it's the best card in the pack. We can completely ignore elf payoffs and stuff like that. Here we've got Khans of Tarkir, great one. 3-color cards are less good this time around than they would be otherwise. That being said, all 3 of these gold cards are really good. There's Mardu Horde Chief, which is fine if you want to be an aggressive strategy, and Rugged Highlands, which is the exact 2 opposite colors of anything we've drafted here. Weave Fate, kind of a weak draw spell, not discard spell. Whenever I'm supposed to just take one of the morphs. I'm not taking Mardu Banner, it's pretty bad. Could also just take Mardu Horde Chief here. With what I've got, this looks like a bit of a control shell. So I don't think the Horde Chief is right here. I'm probably just going to end up taking a morph like Warden of the Eye or something like that. Oh, Warden of the Eye is not actually a morph. In fact, this is the only morph here. Let's just take a monocolor card here. Could go down different routes. All right, Hour of Devastation. No, Amonkhet. No, wait, this is Hour, isn't it? Yeah, this is Hour of Devastation. Apocalypse Demons, not great. It's just a big flyer, but you have to constantly have creatures to sacrifice. I remember a Cursed Horde being decent. Phyrexian Rager is not a zombie, but this card on its own is a 4-mana 3/3 that can attack and gain indestructible. And if you happen to have any other zombies, it gets a little bit better. Like Mummy Paramount is a zombie. Kenra Scrapper is really good if you end up being aggro. think I'm supposed to just take Accursed Horde here. Accursed Horde. If I cut Mana Leak to the side, I could turn this into an aggro deck, right? I think I'm just going to take this guy. Ruin Rat is not going to really appeal to me if I don't know that there are going to be graveyard strategies. I don't think Apocalypse Demon is something I want here. Alright, this is Gate Crash up next. Ooh, Sky Knight Legionnaire. I'm probably just going to snap that off. This is the second pack this go-around that's had a land and a foil land. So, kind of ganking cards. Fortress Cyclops is a cool one. Basically, if it's attacking, it gets +3/+0, and whenever it's blocking, it gets +0/+3. So it plays offense and defense really well, although it's not particularly good just on its own, right? It's a 5-mana 3/3. Keymaster Rogue's also kind of sweet. It can't be blocked, and it bounces a creature you control back to your hand, so it's very similar to that. In fact, I think it's exactly the same as that Merfolk from Ixalan. Same stats, but I'm going to take Sky Knight Legionnaire. It could end up being Mardu. Maybe we wheel that Mardu Rough Rider. This is M14, which is full of really crappy bad cards. Lay of the Land is cool. Lava Axe is fine. Might just take Blood Baron. Nantuko Husk, if you've seen that card before. There's also Artificer's Hex, which enchants equipment. Kind of sucks. Staff of the Flame Magus. All the staves are just bad. I'm going to take Blood Baron. Basically, 3-mana 2/2 that can threaten to sack creatures and become bigger. It's fine. I don't think I want Duress or Lava Axe or anything like that. Lightning Elemental, 4/1 haste, could be good. Ooh, Urza's Power Plant. Do we go for Tron here? Please show me a screenshot of the guy who assembles Tron in Chaos Draft. Orcish Spy. This is red, 1/1. Tap to look at the top 3 cards of target player's library. Doesn't seem worth a card to do that. Also, Raging Goblin with great flavor text. Scathed Zombies. Still not what I'm looking for, even in a draft like this. So I guess it's Lightning Elemental here, which is not a good card, but we could do worse. Looks like we're going down Mardu route for sure. Rusted Slasher, 4-mana 4/1. You can sack an artifact to regenerate it. Not very good. Seems just worse than the Lightning Elemental. I'm not going to have artifacts to sack. This is a 3-mana 4/4, but it can't attack or block unless it's equipped. And then attacking creatures get +1/+0 and gain first strike until end of turn. I think that's just going to be my pick, even though it's a expensive combat trick. I don't really want Metallic Mastery. It's like an act of treason for artifacts, which is already janky enough. Here's a bunch of cards, though. Here is a bunch of cards. These are all actually pretty good aggro cards. It's a shame I can only get one. Emerge Unscathed gives a creature protection. This gives +1/+0 and first strike to 2 creatures. Hammer Hand lets you swing in with a creature and stop it from blocking for the turn. And then Pentarch Ward cantrips and gives protection from a color. Not actually even 100% sure what to take here. I'm leaning towards Pentarch Ward just because it does replace itself. Sure. Alright, Orcish attacking creatures get +1/+0, or Welkin Guide, which is a really overcosted flyer, but it jumps another creature when it comes into play. I think that's going to be my pick here. Red-white, opening up. Don't need Faithless Looten, and Orcish Oriflame is just okay. Swift Kick, or 3-mana 2/2 essentially for my deck. Swift Kick is not very good. It's like a very expensive Prey Upon, but it doesn't pump toughness at all. You should imagine during these Chaos Drafts, some people are going to have insane decks, but some people are just going to have really messed up decks. Like, not good. Which, right now, we've got okay stuff, right? I don't think we picked up any actual removal spells there. But we've got a shell for an aggro deck. Granted, no 1 or 2 drops. Wow, this was a rare? Ugh, I didn't know that was a rare. So, M10, which I don't know very well. Each opponent sacrifices a land for 5 mana? Oh my god, Magic has come a long way. Bog Wraith, 4-mana 3/3 Swamp Wall could be good, but you don't necessarily know. Could have a deck full of Duresses here. Looming Shade, overcosted 1/1, that lets you pump a bunch of black mana. Panic Attack stops 3 creatures from blocking. We're just going to take Stormfront Pegasus. This seems just great. 2 mana, 2 power flyer. Seems really good for what we're trying to do. Gives us a good 2-drop too, right? Also, the rest of the cards in this pack suck, and I don't really want Mesa Enchantress here. Levitation's good for some decks, but it does use a whole card. And then I don't know this one. Convincing Mirage, 2 mana, enchant land. And the land is the chosen land type. Okay, that seems pretty bad. Might end up cutting black here as well. Pyromancer's Goggle is really cool, but what does it work with? Just these 2 spells? It copies red spells, right? Yeah, whenever you cast a red instant or sorcery with it, it copies it. Outside of that, for our, let's just assume we're an aggro deck. Oh, that's a foil too. Kind of nice. Not that that really matters. Smash is a sideboard card, but we've got Knight of the Pilgrim's Road, which I might take. This is a 3-mana 3/2, and if it hits your opponent, it gets a counter, but that only triggers once. Murder Investigation gives you a bunch of 1/1s equal to the enchanted creature's power when it dies. And then this is similar to that Lockstone we've got in Guilds of Ravnica. It just comes down and all your creatures get +1/+1 until end of turn, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with this, but I do think I like the Knight a little bit better here. I don't really like Murder Investigation. I don't think I need Pyromancer's Goggles. Leaf Gilder is probably the best card in the pack. Oh, Somberwald Alpha I remember being really good too. Yeah, the card's sweet. Infinite Obliteration, really bad. Alright, Dominaria. Heck yeah. Heck yeah, Dominaria. Howling Golem. Keldon Warcaller. Remove a lore counter from a target saga. Might just take Mesa Unicorn, have a 2-drop in the deck. Frenzied Rage might wheel here, which would be nice. Out of cards that would wheel here, I would consider playing Howling Golem, Aether Glider, Frenzied Rage, and Keldon Raider. So that's a good chance that we're going to wheel something out of this pack. I don't think anyone's going to want Mishra's Replicator. This is a pretty bad pack of Dominaria cards, though, to be honest. Howling Golem's nice and all, but I do think we want the 2-drop. We're going to go ahead and cut black here, and it looks like they're just going to be red-white aggro. So we want some removal spells. And a couple good 2-drops, though. Just curve out against people who are playing, like, I don't know, nonsense in their Chaos decks. What is this? This is Judgment? Uh-oh. Crossonvert's awesome. Prismatic Strands is Deece. Guided Strike +1/+0 and First Strike. Battlewise Aven. 4-mana 2/2 Threshold. Gets +1/+1 in First Strike. This stops damage from being prevented. And then Arcane Teach-Ins. Enchant Creature. It gets +2/+2 and has tap. Target creature deals. This creature deals 1 damage to any target. It could be really good. Build your own Bob. Or not Bob. Build your own Tim. Build your own Timmy, right? Prodigal Pyromancer. Envelop. And then Shieldmaid, Advocate. Return target card from an opponent's graveyard to their hand. Prevent all damage. Yeah, the Advocates all do that. They give your opponent's cards back from their graveyard in exchange for some sort of effect. In this case, it's a pretty meager effect. Riftstone Portal's cool and all, but it doesn't do anything really. And then Croson Verge is ramp, but only if you're playing forests and plains. I'm going to take this Arcane Teach-Ins. Okay, looks like we're in Dragon's Maze. Much along, just not loved set by a lot of people. Maul of the Obsidian is great. Sack a creature, all of your creatures get +1/+1 until end of turn. This card's really hard to play around in certain situations. But again, it's Blackman. I don't know that I have an easy way to splash that. Probably going to take Has the Snare Squad. 3-mana 1/4. When it attacks, you pay white, and a creature your opponent controls just taps. So it's like a looter. Not a looter, but a tapper on offense. So fits nicely into what we're trying to do here. Could consider the Clue Stone as well, or consider the Maul of Obsidian, but I'm just going to take the on-color card. A lot of 3-drops in the deck. Thunderstaff. If it's untapped, prevents 1 damage from creatures that are hitting you, and it can give attacking creatures +1/+0 until end of turn. That actually doesn't seem bad. Darksteel Pendant seems decent. Oxida Golem. 6-mana Affinity for Mountains and Haste. Huh. And I don't think we're an Golem's Eye deck. Karklan Stoker, 3-mana, sack an artifact, add red. I don't think I want these ramp cards. I really don't want a 1-mana 1/1. Thunderstaff seems decent. If a creature would deal damage to you, prevent 1 of that damage if it's untapped, and then you can pump into it. Turns creatures into artifacts. Interesting. Oxida Golem's probably not that bad. Affinity for Mountains probably makes it 3 or 4-drop. Ooh, Adanto Vanguard, hello. Whoa, look at all the red-white cards. This is a little late in the pack, unfortunately, because none of these will wheel. But Bonded Horncrest and Fire Cannon Blast are great. I'm just going to take Adanto Vanguard, though. This card is an actual beat-in. It's really good with Swift Kick. I mean, yeah, it's good with those cards. Decent with, like, Pentarch Ward, Arcane Teach-Ins. Fire Cannon Blast. I wish I could wheel one of these, but I can't. Unless someone actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I'm not going to see this pack again, which is a shame, because it looks like red-white is open. Rakish Air. Whenever a vampire you control deals combat damage to a player, put a 1/1 counter on it. That includes this creature. So it starts as a 3-mana 2/2. And then if it ever deals damage, it gets bigger. Nephalia Drownyard would be nice if we were actually playing a control strategy. There's also Blazing Torch, which has a lot of text about vampires and zombies, but basically it's a shock. You play it for 1, you equip for 1, and then you tap that creature, sacrifice this, and deal 2 damage. That's the important part. I think I'm just going to take Ricochet, though, as an underpowered creature. Panic Attack, that plays well with Ricochet. Panic Attack's pretty weak, though. I don't think Mesa Enchantress is making our deck anytime soon, though, so I'll take Panic Attack and hope not to play it. Ampere Tactician came back. I wouldn't mind Smash for the sideboard, but I'll take this Tactician. And probably actually going to take Frenzied Rage here. Ether Glider is fine and all, but Frenzied Rage can get us some of those, like, kind of nut draws where we just outrace them. And again, I'm not looking to play against super pimped out decks or anything like that. I'm not playing anything. I didn't even read this. This is a Nightmare Turtle Beast. Cool, it's got one of those Simic creature types. Enters the battlefield, exile land you control. When it leaves the battlefield, return that land. And Riftstone Portal. Yeah, I'll take the Advocate, I guess, but I don't think we're ever playing that card. More 2-drops, please. Ooh, Maul of Obsidian came back. I don't think I'm getting Fixin'. Someone did take the Cluestone out of there. The Orzhov Cluestone. Not gonna lie, our deck doesn't seem good, but this is what you do in Chaos Draft. You try to stick to a strategy, like an overarching strategy, like control, aggro, rather than an archetype necessarily. And you try to kind of piece it together, which is what I really like about Chaos Draft. Sometimes you just end up playing cards you've never seen before, like Arcane Teachings. Crazed Goblin, hopefully does not have to make our deck. 1-mana 1/1 that has to attack each turn. Really bad. Wow, Mastery of the Unseen. Okay, Fate Reforged. Mastery of the Unseen and Elite Scale Guard? Oh my god. I remember this being, I think, the best uncommon in this whole set, and Mastery of the Unseen being really good as well. I don't even know what to take here. So, this lets you basically pay 4 mana to put the top card of your creature down as a morph. You can flip it face up for its mana cost. And then it gains you life whenever those creatures are turned face up. So it generates advantage, whereas Elite Scale Guard comes down, gives your lowest toughness creature 2 counters, and then whenever a creature you control with a counter attacks, you get to tap an opponent's creature. There's also Mardu Scout here. I don't think I want Fierce Invocation. I would play Sandblast. I think I'm taking Scale Guard here. Maybe that's wrong, but a lot of my creatures aren't actually that good, so pumping out 2/2s isn't great, and flipping them face up doesn't really turn them into anything super special here. That being said, this is card advantage, right? It does straight up draw you a card and put it straight into play. Elite Scale Guard is just busto, though. I think Mastery of the Unseen in general is better than Elite Scale Guard, but we're going to take it. This is, what, Guild Pact or Dissension? I'm not sure. Not taking that. Harrier Griffin, 6-mana 3/3. Tap target creature on upkeep. That's really good. 1 mana, you gain 1 life for each player. Stop Karen. Castigates like a discard spell. Yep. Shrieking Grotesque. I remember this card being okay. When it enters the battlefield, if black was spent, target player discards a card. We're not going to have black mana. Pyromantics deals 1 damage for every 2 mana you can play, or pay for it. Seems like it could be okay. And then Petra Hydrox is weird. It bounces back to your hand whenever it becomes targeted, basically. So we have this really expensive top-end creature, which might not be that bad. Beginning of your upkeep, tap target creature. Shrieking Grotesque is just a 3-mana 2/1 flyer, which is okay. It's playable. And then there's Pyromantics, which might be good. 4 mana, deal 2 damage, split up how you want. It's probably fine, right? Get this Griffin back. I'm going to take this Griffin. It seems to fit into what we're doing here. I don't have a lot of removal, but 3 mana, 2/1, untap it, attacking creature +1/+0. This is what, Morningtide? Is that right? Tap target creature. Whenever you cast a white spell, you may untap it. I'm kind of in for that. Jawbone Skulkin. Target red creature gains haste. A 1 mana, 1/1 lifelink. No thank you. Puncture Blast. Deals 3 damage to any target with Wither. Hello. That's a pick. So it's a Lightning Bolt for 3 mana. And it puts -1 counters on creatures that it doesn't kill. Yeah, I'm definitely taking that. And the 4 mana tapper or this little guy I'd be interested in. What are you? Heartlash Center. Haste. When it enters battlefield, it gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is the number of red mana symbols. No, we're going to go ahead and take the Lightning Bolt here. Pretty happy with that. Spine Rock Null is like impossible to activate. Your opponent has to take 7 damage before you can use the card. Changeling Berserker is nice though. Basically, you sacrifice a creature to play this, and then once this dies, you get that creature back. And 5/3 haste might be right up our alley. Oaken Brawler says something about Clash In, so this is basically just a 2/4 for 4, which is okay. Dawn Fluke. Dawn Fluke sucks. Giant's Ire, 4 damage to target player or planeswalker, not creature. And then Hilmcorer Giant's fine, but I'm going to take this Changeling Berserker. I've got plenty of creatures in my deck. I don't like Fateful Showdown. This is Ether Revolt? No, this is straight up Kaladesh, right? Yeah, this is Kaladesh. Whirler Virtuoso is very nice, but we can't play it. Demolish is boo-boo. 2 mana 2/1. Do we just want a vanilla 2/1 here? Or do we actually want Fateful Showdown? There's no point at rare drafting, so I guess I'll take something I might play. Fateful Showdown is not good, though. I guess I'll take it. It's like situational removal, but we're probably not going to main deck it. Ooh, Blood Ogre is very nice. Hey, look, Lightning Elemental. Look at that. We could replace this ugly, disgusting white border Lightning Elemental with a still disgusting, but less white border Lightning Elemental. Ooh, this deck's actually good. There's Blood Ogre, and there's also Stormfront Pegasus. Blood Ogre being a 3 mana 2/2 first strike, which is already decent, and then Bloodthirst 1, so if you dealt damage, it comes down as a 3 mana 3/3 first strike. Also just Stormfront Pegasus. Put another 2-drop in my deck. God, that's a hard pick. This is what, M13, right? No, M12. I don't know. I think I'm supposed to take Stormfront just because I have a bunch of 3-drops already, but I can see a case for the, whatchamacallit. Erdwall Ripper. Haste, 2/1 for 3. When it deals combat damage to a player, put a 1/1 counter on it. So in our deck, that's basically a worse version of Rakeshare. Zombie Apocalypse, destroy all humans. Scorch the Fields destroys a land and then pings all humans for whatever sick, twisted reason. And then a bunch of cards we're not even considering. Yeah, we'll go ahead and take Erdwall Ripper, but I think it's worse than Rakeshare here. What's the creature type on it? Vampire? Yeah, it's just worse than Rakeshare. Liege of the Axe, Morph, great. Morph is just the most broken mechanic in Chaos Draft because you can't play around it. You don't know what it is. 2/3 Vigilance. When it's turn face up, untap it. This doesn't even look like a magic card. It looks like a friggin' Yu-Gi-Oh monster. Master the Veil. It's kind of cool, but I'm not taking that. Fugitive Wizard. Hello. Dripping Dead. And then Whipgrass Entangler. Until end of turn, target creature gains. This creature can't attack or block unless its controller pays 1 for each. Cleric. 5 mana 2/2 provoke and first strike. Yeah, let's just take the Morph. Alright, Mardu Scout came back. Nice. Oh, the Mastery of the Unseen didn't come back? Shoot. This doesn't have flying, right? It's just a 4 mana 3/3. Vidalcan Potter is cool. It switches control of a land you control and a land an opponent controls. There's no way we're... For each player? Wait a second. You gain 1 life for each player. 1 mana gain 2? No thank you. I thought it was for each creature. Even that's bad. For each player? That's horrendous. Alright, get out of here, Crazed Goblin. We're going to cut some 3-drops. Probably Erdwall Ripper. He can go ahead and come right on out this piece right here. Liege of the Axe didn't strike my fancy. Swift Kick. Might have to play Swift Kick, just not having a lot of removal. Cut a bunch of 3-drops. I don't think I want to cut any of my 2-drops, though. So let's see. Erdwall Ripper just doesn't seem good. Even if you get a counter on it, it's a 3 mana 3/2, and even that's not great. So, what are you again? Whenever you cast a spell that's both blue and red, okay, so it doesn't do anything. It's just a 2 mana 2/1. Can't cast Favor of the Overbeing. Gets +1. And this is only until end of turn, and it just sits there as a 1/1. It's not even going to be that good. Target red creature gains haste. A lot of our red creatures already have haste. I guess I'll take the 2 mana 2/1. Or I guess I'm taking Favor of the Overbeing. 3 mana 1/3. Prevent the next 3 damage that would be dealt to any target. Spine Rock Null. Alright, I'm not a... Actually, take Giant's Ire. There's a chance we just want Burn to close out a game. 4 damage is a lot. Another Lightning Elemental. Okay. Well, that's an easy call for me. Get out of here, ugly white border Lightning Elemental. Nobody loves you. I'm sorry, but if you like white border, then you need to go to a correctional facility because it's hideous. Liege of the Axe seems not good. Even when you morph this, it's kind of whatever. You just, surprise, gotcha. Panic Attack seems not great, but does play really well with some of our kind of low toughness, high power creatures like the lightning elementals and whatnot. So we'll consider Panic Attack here for a second. I have got to cut 2 cards, and I do think I'm just going to be a 17 land deck with basically no card advantage. Arcane Teach-Ins could be a sideboard card. +2/+2 and tap, deal a damage to any target is a weird combination of abilities. Yeah, this is a very strange card. Because if you tap it, then you don't care about +2/+2. I like all these creatures. Rally the Forces, +1/+0 and First Strike. I think that's probably better than Panic Attack, though. Thunderstaff seems decent, and then we need to cut 1 more card here. Again, I like all of the 2-drops. They play very well with our strategy. Changeling, Berserker, and Lightning Elemental are fine. Elemental's a lot better with like Welkin Guide and some of the tappers that we've got. Rakish Air, maybe? It's just a 3-mana 2/2. It has to hit the opponent in order to become a 3/3. Should be okay. 17 creatures. I don't want to cut too many creatures here. Kind of have high hopes for this thing. What would you guys cut here? Frenzied Rage? I like it. I don't expect a lot of decks to be super removal heavy. What I might cut here is the Arcane Teach-Ins and then bring it in against decks that are going to have a bunch of 1 toughness creatures or something like that. Because as it stands, +2/+2 is just a little bit worse than Frenzied Rage, which is +2/+1 and Menace for 1 more mana. And then having a Pinger isn't going to be huge unless we know it's going to be super impactful, right? So if we know that we're playing against a bunch of 1 toughness creatures, it should be fine. So I think we're going to go ahead and run like this. Which doesn't... It seems fine, right? We're playing Chaos Draft. Doesn't really matter how the deck does overall. I'm going to go 9-8 here. I do have a double red card in the Mardu Scout, but if I remember correctly, you can dash it for 1 in a red. So if you don't have double red and this is a card in your hand, you can still play it on a mountain and on plains, which is fine. And then the only other double color card here is Ampere Tactician, and playing that on turn 4 is fine. Kind of curious how this plays out, but fun little draft there. I don't think we saw any Mega Bombs or anything like that. Last time we did a Chaos Draft, we opened Olivia Voldaren, which is just ridiculous. But yeah, let's see how we do with a kind of weird red-white aggro deck in this Chaos Draft. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you being here. If you enjoy this sort of stuff, you know, be on the lookout because Chaos Drafts are up for another week or so, and I'm probably going to record these in addition to starting by 4 soon for Arena and Guilds of Ravnica, Ravnica Allegiance, whatever Ravnica set is currently legal. But anyway, that's going to go ahead and do it for our draft. Thanks for watching. My name's Timothy, and I'll see you in match number 1. We're here for match 1. Go and get my Barons here. I'm keeping this hand mostly on account of being on the play with a Stormfront Pegasus, but I'll admit it doesn't do too much. Thunderstaff seems like it's good for a long game, though. I don't like my opponent gaining a life here. That's annoying. Draw a bunch of mountains and early game creatures. Puncture Blast is nice. 1 fire. Stormfront Pegasus. Pass the turn. See what we're up against. See if we're against 5-color nonsense or my opponent just has good fixin' or something. We are against Magical Genie here. Infiltrator Ilkor, nice. So this is a 3/1, basically unblockable creature, and it's going to come down with haste in 2 turns. And we can't stop that. Nice little start from the opponent, though. Sure, I'll go ahead and draw a Mesa Unicorn, I suppose. If I'm not going to draw a land here and be able to cast any spells, I might as well draw a creature I can play, which is nice. Jeez. Whoop. There we go. Why do I have an end combat stop? Looks like my stops have been changed around since the last time I played. So next turn this will come down, and when creatures come off suspend, they do have haste. Alright, 2/3 Forest Walk. Does shut down my Mesa Unicorn here. Unless we draw red mana. Knight of Pilgrim's Eye. Alright, well, not drawing our 3rd land at all means we're going to fall pretty far behind. Our opponent's going to be hitting us for 5. I can't block the 3/1, and I can't really profitably block the 2/3. So, don't like where this is going. Shadow means they can't block my creatures with this, unless my creatures have Shadow. And I can't block that either. Okay, that makes sense that they left back the 2/3. That does probably mean that they're not playing another blocker this turn, though. Otherwise, they would attack with this and just play another blocker. So it looks like Stormfront Pegasus getting in. Yep. Well, we are going to lose to Mana Screw here. I'm not going to be able to keep up with my opponent here. But if we draw a third mana, we get to at least play a 3/2. And if we draw specifically a Mountain, we've got Puncture Blast at the ready. They're going to go ahead and shock my Unicorn instead of my Stormfront Pegasus. That's a little bit weird. I guess so they can race me here. They're dealing more damage to me than I'm dealing to them. My opponent with the shock? That's unfair. Alright, we did draw a Mountain, so let's see if we're too far behind or not. Opponent with a lot of mana up. Let's go and attack with Stormfront Pegasus. And then maybe keep a Puncture Blast here. Probably just supposed to play a creature. Thunderstaff. If it's untapped, if a creature would deal damage to you, prevent one of that damage. This makes it so that they're only dealing 3 damage to me per turn instead of 5. Why am I expecting a counterspell here, though? If I play Knight of the Pilgrim's Road, I'm basically just saying I'm going to attempt to trade it off. Rally the Force is really bad here. Go and get this. Alright, play a creature. Play a creature. Convince myself. Run into whatever janky Odyssey counterspell they have. Straight up Mana Leak. Wow, my opponent's got good cards. Mana Leak and Shock? It's ridiculous. So we're going to go down to 7 here. Mana Leak was going to get anything we played. Spontaneous Artist, so 3/3 haste, and we're just dead. We don't really have anything to stop this. Mana Screw got us. We could have kept up had we drawn lands here, but not much I can do. My Stormfront Pegasus can't even block if I puncture and blow this, and then I'm just chumping. So we'll see what happens, but I don't think I have a draw here. And Riddle Form, which is okay. Basically, whenever they cast a spell, they can turn that into a 3/3 flyer for the turn. Opponent definitely has better cards in their deck than we have in ours. But I think we would have been fine had we drawn lands there. Not much that even want to board in. This is good against a 3/1. Good against Shock as well if you can stick it. I think I'm going to bring that in. Swift Kick is just... ugh. I'm going to take out Swift Kick here. And yeah, let's go ahead and just swing back here. Even in a aggro deck, you do have to draw lands. This is a little bit better. If I can't do anything, if I don't draw a Mountain on turn 2, I'll just go ahead and dash Mardu Scout, play Rakashare. I've got a decent curve. Collision Honor Guard's really good against Shock and whatnot. We are going to keep this hand. And run out the Mountain. Hoping to just actually draw a Mountain so I can straight up play Mardu Scout. And that'll give me my 4th land for the Elemental plus the Collision Honor Guard. My opponent has Shock in their hand, though. Ugh. Alright, plain. So let's go ahead and dash. See if our opponent has a Shock. I assume they'll use it here. They do. Next turn, playing a 3-mana 2/2, which is under par, for sure. If you don't know, if you dash a creature, it gains haste, but it bounces back to your turn, back to your hand. Ooh, Ashmouth Hound. Wow, my opponent has great cards. So this is that little goblin guy. Ornery Goblin. It's basically the exact same card. Okay, Arcane Teachings is good against that, though. Ooh, when it deals combat damage. Okay, I was about to say, that would be really sweet. If it deals any damage, and then we could put Arcane Teachings on. This is fine, though. Arcane Teachings will take out Ashmouth Hound at some point if we don't just run it out. Narcolepsy is kind of neat, I guess. At the beginning of each upkeep, if enchanted creature is untapped, we tap it. And opponent is not attacking, so we can't dash into them. Now, note, we could put Arcane Teachings on Rakashare, and then Narcolepsy does trigger, and in response we can go ahead and use the Teachings. For now, I'm just going to go ahead and play Collision Honor Guard, because this card is great. If my opponent ever wants to use a shock or anything, they have to target Honor Guard. If they use a pump spell, they have to target Honor Guard, bounce spell, so on and so forth. So it gives me a pretty clear way of sticking the Arcane Teachings, because there's not a lot that stops me from doing that. As it is, my hand is really bad against Ashmane Health. Ooh, Spite Mare? Geez, my opponent has like really good cards. Anytime I deal damage to this, it deals that much damage to any target. Which, for now, has to be this. Cast a spell. Or activate an ability. No, never mind. They can target anything they want with Spite Mare, because this only works with activated abilities, not triggered abilities. If I'm reading that right. As part of casting a spell, they control or activate an ability. Yeah, so that's not really affected. Go in Narcolepsy here. And I think I'm supposed to play Lightning Elemental. Just not attacking, or maybe I go for the Arcane Teachings here. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and Arcane Teachings while my opponent doesn't have like Mana Leak. This at least lets me go ahead and pop this thing. I can block Spite Mare, but it will kill Honor Guard. I mean, it'll trade, and then they'll deal another 4 damage since I deal 4 damage to it. As it is, I expect my opponent to just untap. And if we're sitting here at parity, at least I get to start pinging the opponent here. If they play the Ilcore guy, then I can go ahead and pop that as well. Rally Forces, okay. Not great. We're supposed to just play Mardu Scout and attack. Yeah, I'll play Mardu Scout and attack, and then if they want to go ahead and trade, that's fine. Get the Spite Mare out of the way. I think they're just going to take 3, and then I'll cast a Lightning Elemental into potential counterspell. Opponent's not doing anything with their mana, though, so I don't think I'm actually going to do that. I don't want to just get my Lightning Elemental countered or shocked or anything like that. I guess they can't shock it. Glacial Crasher. 5/5 trample. Can't attack unless there's a mountain on the battlefield. So, 5/5 trample. Okay. That's not the worst card I've ever seen. And we'll just start pinging the opponent here. Also, 4/6 can block a 5/5. Ooh, Elite Scale Guard. Unfortunately, Rakish Air is my lowest toughness creature. Huh. So I can play Lightning Elemental and attack. They probably block with Spite Mare. Or I could just play Mardu Scout. I think I'm going to play Lightning Elemental this turn. And then next turn, Elite Scale Guard will bolster onto the Lightning Elemental. That'll make this a 6/3. Which still can't really attack into Spite Mare here. See if they attack with this Crasher or not, though. Nope, so no shock in hand from the opponent, otherwise I think they would do that. Also, they probably would have just shocked Lightning Elemental, right? Ooh, that's also really good. I think I'm supposed to play this. Just play this plus Mardu Scout. And now I can start tapping down Spite Mare and get an attack in. Yeah, that seems good. So again, whenever this attacks, I can pay white. Alright, some sort of janky counterspell here. Broken Ambition. So counter target spell unless its controller pays X, so I can't. And then you clash. So if we're going to reveal the top card, if they have a higher converted mana cost, the spell's controller puts top 4 cards into their graveyard. Okay. Don't really care too much. I'm not going to pay for the Snare Squad. They revealed Sacramite to mirror. So I won the clash. They don't get their, or they don't mill me. Gains flying until end of turn or sack to draw a card. I don't mind just keeping this Tactician on top. And I guess we can see what our opponent does. They can't really keep this on top. I can just ping it with the Honor Guard. Let's see if they kept on top or not. Yeah, they put on the bottom. So they are not going to draw this Sacramite Mirror. They countered our dude, so I guess it's Scout's Honor. And pass. If they mana leak this, that's not even that much of a problem. They might do it just because they might not have another target for mana leak. But the 3/1's not exactly good on this board, so them mana leaking that seems pretty good to me. Or at least pretty good for me. Broken Ambition. So this is like a Clash of Wills or Syncopate type counterspell with Clash attached to it. As it is, I'm just going to keep pinging them. Might send Lightning Elemental in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I play Ampere Tactician... Yeah, if I play Ampere Tactician, I can attack with a 5-power creature. Guess I'm not attacking at all. Just pass, play Elite Skill Guard here. Not playing around any more counter magic. So Bolster happens, it chooses the lowest toughness creature and puts 2 counters on it. And keep in mind, whenever a creature I control with a counter on it attacks, I can tap an opponent's creature. So Lightning Rager can start tapping Spite Mare here. Alright, Spontaneous Artist, not exactly great. They get to keep that energy, probably not using it. But they can use that energy to give any creature haste. Alright, ping them down. Ooh, Frenzied Rage. So if I don't think my opponent has anything, I can go Frenzied Rage on the Elite Skill Guard and then use Rally the Forces to kind of take out a bunch of blockers here. When this attacks, I'll go ahead and tap down Spite Mare. I think I'm going to go for it. I don't see my opponent having a lot of removal here or anything like that. Oh, I didn't play the Frenzied Rage, though. That's pretty bad. So let's just put a 3/3 on board. Not exactly amazing, but gives me a better attack next turn as well. That's my mistake. I'm not doing things before combat. I don't think I have too many other ways to actually put counters on my creatures, though, so I don't think Skill Guard's going to get better than it is right now. Alright. Narcolepsy, blah, blah, blah. Let's go in Frenzied Rage. A 5-power dude? Yeah. See if my opponent interacts with this Frenzied Rage. They do not. So let's get in there with these two. Tap down Spite Mare. And they can only block one of these as it is. And opponent just concedes that game. Huh, okay. Let's see. Do we want anything else here? Spite Mare does kind of change things, right? Whenever you deal damage to it, it just kind of gets in there. Maybe I want Panic Attack here. My opponent with their stupid, removal spells, or not removal spells, but counter spells. And the flyers seemed really good. My opponent just didn't have flyers. These cards seem a lot worse, Lightning Elemental and whatnot. Mardu Scout, anything that can get pinged off by a Spite Mare. But I do think I want Panic Attack, even though this probably be a little bit better on the play. Arcane Teachings was really good there. Also, keep in mind, my opponent had a bunch of cards, but maybe Collision Honor Guard was making it so they couldn't cast them. Rally the Forces seems a lot worse on the play. Especially, we don't want like too many of this sort of effect that changes combat. I think Rally the Forces is going to be better than Panic Attack most of the time. But I think I'm going to go ahead and make that cut. Panic Attack can push in for the win, whereas Rally the Forces is better at like deciding combat. Alright, so on the draw this time, pretty bad hand. If I felt I knew I was going to draw white lands, this would be a lot better. I'm going to keep, just hope I draw one of my 9 white sources in the first 2 turns. Trying to get a little bit lucky. Never that lucky, though. If I draw it on turn 3, that's fine as well. Lightning Elemental with Frenzied Rage is decent. Alright, Suspending. Oh, Riddle Form. Okay. So, cast an instant or sorceries basically means I'm going to take 3 damage. I can also pay 3 mana to scry 1. Alright, third Mountain, unfortunately. Again, never lucky. Oh, opponent, very lucky. Ashmouth Hound is fine. Alright, drew the plains on turn 3, that's fine. I'm going to play Danto Vanguard, I think. It's kind of annoying against Ashmouth Hound. Ashmouth Hound, is that what I keep saying? Well, not even entirely sure. Yeah, I'm just gonna play a Danto Vanguard here. Next turn I can play Stormfront Pegasus plus Frenzied Rage, and Frenzied Rage is really good on a Danto Vanguard. Whenever my opponent attacks into me, if I block them, this triggers still. It deals 1 damage, so I'd have to pay the 4 mana or whatever. Alright, Narcolepsy. Yeah, Narcolepsy is good here. Oh, this triggers off non-creature spells? I thought it was Infinite Sorcery. It's very annoying. Very annoying. No attack with Ashmound Hound. Whatever. Hound. I'm just going to start saying Hound. And opponent conveniently keeping up Mana Leak. Coalition Honor Guard is really nice. I would rather that resolve than Lightning Elemental, but I'm going to go ahead and play... Actually, Lightning Elemental cannot attack into Ashmouth Hound, but I don't want to get Coalition Honor Guard Mana Leak, so I'm going to run this out. If they have either of their 2 counterspells that we've seen, they can go and counter it, and that's fine. Opponent also could just choose not to counter it, since they have a creature that essentially makes it so it can't attack. So we can't rule out a counterspell there. Alright, they've got their Spite Mare, which is fine. Surprised they're not attacking with Ashmound Health. Ashy boy. Alright, drawing lands wouldn't be bad. Well, that's not great. So I could go Frenzied Rage, and they'd have to double block to kill my guy, because the 1 damage would no longer kill my thing. Could also just play Coalition Honor Guard here, which is okay. Get that down while I can. And then start worrying about Stormfront Pegasuses afterwards. Yeah, this Honor Guard just seems good, right? It protects all my other creatures from shock and so on and so forth. I can't attack with Lightning Elemental. I am pretty far behind this game, I think. And my opponent's got kind of a way to dump mana and scry later on as the game goes on, so we'll see what happens. Plus, Spite Mare is just probably better than every other card in my deck. But I could see if the turns go on and maybe I draw a white source, I could start playing a bunch of flyers. This could play very well. I do have to watch out for attacking flyers into Riddle form, though. Alright, opponent's going to go ahead and attack here. If I block like this does clear my opponent's creatures. They get to go ahead and kill off the Honor Guard. I'm expecting a shock. Yeah, let's just... we'll go ahead and do this. I think my opponent's trying to clear the Honor Guard. They do have to use Spite Mare on Honor Guard if they want to go ahead and kill it, though. This leaves them with 3 cards in hand. I've got nothing, unfortunately, but that's fine. They're going to start scrying. Okay, we do have double Stormfront Pegasus here, though. See if this one gets mana leaked. Alright, I expect them to scry on end step. Yep. And I guess we'll go ahead and check out what they're doing. Put it on the bottom. Scry to the bottom. And our attacks are a little odd here, right? Slagstorm? Are you kidding me? My opponent's just got a bunch of on-color rares. They can't turn their Riddle form into a creature, though. Otherwise, it kills them. But this does just kill all of my creatures. 3 damage to each creature. You've got to be kidding me. Spite Mare and Slagstorm. Nice. So now we need to draw a land for Harrier Griffin and hope that our opponent doesn't have a play. I guess Mesa Unicorn into Frenzied Rage is a real play here. They're going to get to scry again. Must be nice to have multiple on-color rares. Slagstorm's really nice. 3 damage to each creature or 3 damage to each player. I don't want the actual chat. I want the game log. Shock the Unicorn. Alright, and we're going to take 3 damage. Just need to stick a creature here. Would have liked to stick that one. I'm assuming no, they put a card on the bottom, so they either top decked that shock or they already had it in their hand. The Scry is going to help them out a lot here if I can't stick a creature. Although I think I can cast everything in my deck now. Pentarch Ward, of course. It would be something that sticks to a creature. Pentarch Ward would put me in a very good spot this game. But I need to stick a creature first, and my opponent's going to scry their way to a victory here, I think. Windrake, fine card. Doesn't match up too well against a 3-3. Alright, give me something. Planes. Let's go ahead and run out Harrier Griffin and hope my opponent doesn't have either of their counter spells. And they do. Broken Ambition for 2 unnecessarily. Alright, the Clash does give us a little bit of a scry. Arcane Teach-Ins to the bottom. We need to draw a creature. Preferably a flyer, but we're running out of those. Our opponent revealed Weaver of Lightning, which is really good. 1/4 reach, pings us whenever they cast an instant or sorcery. And they kept it on top, so they want their Weaver. Seems weird. I'd just be looking for spells here. Weaver's fine, I guess. And, ooh, Elite Scale Guard's a nice one. I'm not going to play around their last card being Mana Leak. In fact, did they already use Mana Leak? No. Now, with that being said, they still have an Air Force here. They've still got their Scry engine going. They've got incidental damage. They did Scry to the bottom there. If we can kill Windrake, then I feel fine about this. I don't think I can erase it as it is. But we're probably going to stick Pentarch Ward on Elite Scale Guard here. Okay, Hazda Squad, Snare Squad is pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and Pentarch Ward up this thing. And we'll choose protection from red? Yeah, give it pro red. Maybe I was supposed to actually choose white so that I could potentially Frenzied Rage this thing. I'm going to attack and play Hazda Snare Squad. I don't think I'm winning this game, though. My opponent does have damage, more damage coming back at me. I'm on a 5-turn clock. I guess they're on a 5-turn clock as well, but the problem is if they ever animate Riddle form, then that steps up the clock by a significant amount. So I guess if I can draw the Puncture, the 3 damage for Riddle form, then maybe I get there. They've got double Scry too, so they can look for spells here. They kept on top. I do not like my opponent just keeping on top here. Plus they can ping me whenever they cast an instant or sorcery. Lava Axe? Sure. Oh, I'm just dead this turn. Alright, good game, opponent. You've got rares in your Chaos Draft. It's fine. It's fine. We'll go ahead and play game 2. I'll see y'all there. Alright, so we're back for match 2 against Mono? Okay. Okay hand. Our first play of the game is going to be a 3-mana 2/2 that's likely not going to be able to attack. And then we have our 6-drop in hand, but it's fine. Oh, I should play Mountain first. Whoops. In case we draw Mardu Scout, we want to just play it. Our last turn opponent had a really good deck for a Chaos Draft. Like, multiple things that cared about casting spells, and once you have those, it's not too hard to go in and just pick up cards that, fulfill those conditions. So, spells. Every set's going to have instants and sorceries, right? So picking up cards like that is fine. Of course, if you keep a 5-lander, your next draw will always be a land. But it's fine. Against green-black anything. Really? Really, deck? Really? Alright, well, let's flood out now, I suppose. Drawing something next turn would be really nice. This has to get through once to be an okay card. If my opponent just plays a blocker here, then it's probably not getting through. I'll just draw a removal spell or something. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of removal to back this card up. Urborg Mindsucker. 3-mana 2/2. Sacrifice it. Target opponent discards a card at random. Activate only at sorcery speed. Okay. Well, it's a 3-mana 2/2, so it stops my Wreckish error. Jeez. Okay. Discard a card at random. I'm going to let that happen, and having already drawn 3 lands this game, I assume it's just going to go and hit Harrier Griffin. My opponent's probably also not even going to activate this. What set is this from? Visions, I think that is. Alright, Sluice Scorpion is a 2/2 Death Touch with Scavenge, so while it's in the graveyard, they can pay 3 mana and exile it to put 2 counters on a creature. Frenzied Rage, I can go ahead and play that, and attack in and trade 2 for 2. And if my opponent doesn't block, this card gets bigger. So if they don't have removal, they might be incentivized to go and take the hit, or not take the block, play something, and then I can play Harrier Griffin. But we have drawn some garbage. Imagine if we had just hit this on turn 4, we would get to attack. They would have to block now. As it is, they don't have to block, but if they don't, this creature gets bigger, so I imagine they're going to double block, but it depends on whether they have removal or not. So just trade everything off here, which isn't good for me. My opponent's got more card quality than I do. They have the Sluice Scorpion in the graveyard, which matters. And my 6-drop isn't even like a big game-winning bomb or anything like that. It just makes it so I can attack into my opponent. They're also curving out 3, 4, 5. Argothian Elder, untap 2 target lands. Nice ramp card. It's a 4-mana 2/2 though, so it's not huge or anything. Okay, that's a nice follow-up if this Griffin survives. But our opponent could play like an 8-drop next turn, for all we know. I highly doubt they're going to go ahead and scavenge. Argothian Elder from Urza's Gears. I don't know. I know Urza's Legacy is the little flask. Okay, so go ahead and do your ramp. I'll F6. I can't do anything here. Them using that ability means they're using more than 5 mana this turn, though. 7-drop? Really? Birthing Hulk, that's nice. So 5/4, that makes 2 1/1s, and then you can pay 2 mana and sacrifice one of these to regenerate it. Oh no, you can just pay 2 mana to regenerate it, but one of them has to be colorless. Let's go ahead and tap down Birthing Hulk. Sure. Unfortunately, we haven't gotten any damage on the opponent. They still have 3 cards in hand. We do get to play 2 things here, which is fine. They're not terrible cards either. Oh, no. God. See, this is part of the reason Arena's grown on me over Moto. It plays a lot better. This is more strategic, right, with all the stops and everything, but Arena plays way better. Consume Strength? Really? On that, though? That seems weird. You're just going to get in 2 extra damage this turn? Okay. Are they going to do some sort of fight spell or something as well? Gruul Locket. Sure. Wow, you open Ravnica Allegiance. Untap some lands. You're going to cast something else as well, geez. Opponent with all the spells. Miming Slime, make a 7/7? Oh my god, my opponent's with their decks today. Opponent's throwing away a 1/1 for some reason. I can't beat a bunch of 7/7s. My deck's just not built to do that. Maybe I can aggro him out here. No, he just drew too many lands. Let's go to the next game here. We're not winning that with what we have. Green, black, just green beatdown decks are always going to be good in these sorts of things. I don't think I change anything either. Arcane Teaching's not even good against Birthing Hulk, because they still get a 5/4. It's got to curve out a little bit better. Our opponent stopped our early game creature. We drew 3 lands as our first 3 draws after keeping a 5-lander, so we're not going to win that game regardless of what our opponent's playing. They did curve out. Again, kind of perfectly, right? Untap 2 lands into a 7-drop, kind of ridiculous. Fateful Showdown sucks. Also, our opponent is like aggressively sideboarding against us here. I think. Don't think Arcane Teachings really does anything against them. If we had drawn that Frenzied Rage a turn sooner, I think maybe we would have had some sort of play there. Just don't think we have the removal to back this deck up. In fact, we have almost no removal. Puncture and Blast is basically it. Swift Kick isn't even reliable. It's going to 2-for-1 ourselves quite often. Even in Kanzatark here, where Prowess was a new mechanic, this wasn't very good. And then, again, our top creature here, Harrier Griffin, is just not exactly a bomb. Our last game might have gone a lot differently if this Elite Scale Guard was a Mastery of the Unseen. Alright, let's play And yeah, this has some of our better cards. These are two of our better cards. Consume Strength is not particularly good against Collision Honor Guard. I'm just going to play this as a 3-1, I think, and then probably Puncture and Blast my opponent's first play. I didn't even see this Mesa Unicorn. Maybe I'll just play Mesa Unicorn? Nah, I'll play Mardu Scout first. Consume Strength is a very strong card, though. It's 1 black-green, give one of your creatures +2/+2, and give an opponent's creature -2/-2. Which 3 mana, I'm pretty sure it's an instant as well. My opponent's decks... my first round and this round opponent, I haven't even seen much of it, and I just know their deck's better than mine. We did not see a lot of removal. Opponent is, however, taking a lot of time. They're mulling, so I guess that was a decision. And they're going to scry, drumroll, to the bottom. Alright, let's lead off Mountain and Pass. And we'll just cast Mardu Scout on turn 2. No point dashing it when you can cast it. Unless you really need to get in that damage. Alright, let's go ahead and lead with the Scout. As tempted as it is to get in that 3 damage, it does cost mana to do that every turn. See if they got a 2-drop this time. If not, then we get in this 3 damage and we can just play the Unicorn this turn instead of Puncture and Blast. Ooh, Ricochet is actually a little bit better to play here. Get in there, Scout. Goblin Scout. Alright. Come on down. No other vampires really take advantage of Ricochet. Alright, there's the Mind Sucker again. Probably just going to jam both my creatures into it. Oh, Scale Guard would be really good here. Could Puncture and Blast this, since its ability is relevant, and then get in for 5 that grows this. Or I could go and play Honor Guard before my opponent can get any really great removal down and have Puncture and Blast for something later on. If I attack with both, they're going to block the Ricochet. Yeah, let's go and trade off. The less creatures they have, the better Scale Guard gets too. And Scale Guard's a little bit better. I didn't think about that. Scale Guard is better if Ricochet has a counter on it. So if I attack like this, they activate that. That's not even the worst. I should probably have tried to get a counter on this because of the Scale Guard. I'm going to attack with both, though. Scale Guard gets better the less creatures they have. I'm actually kind of hoping they block Mardu Scout, and then the heir can get a counter, but there's no reason for them to do that, because this will just be a 3-3 versus a 3-1. They could also not block at all, which seems very unlikely. I also have to draw a 5th land for any of this to matter that much. If I knew for a fact I wasn't going to draw my 5th land, I would just jam both these creatures. If I were them, I would block Ricochet here, unless my hand was full of removal. And this lets me keep Puncture or Blast for, say, the ramp creature if they play that on turn 4, or Death Touch creature or anything like that. Alright, they are going to block Ricochet. Keeps my 3-1 on board, which isn't the worst thing in the world. Also means if they just play like a creature here and I draw a land, they can't block. I get in for 5, 6, 7 next turn. This can go to the face, right? Yep, it has Wither too, which is not irrelevant. Oh, opponent with no play? Huh. So I'm going to play out 2 2-drops then. Remember, if they target anything, they have to target Collision Honor Guard here. Just looks like my opponent didn't have a play. Not playing around a sweeper. If you've never played with Bolster and you have 2 creatures that have tied toughness, like the Stormfront Pegasus and the Mardu Scout, you get to choose which one the counters go on. Alright, opponent played 1 spell that game. Doesn't give us any other information to go by. Still don't know if Arcane Teachers might just be, like, generally good, right? I think I do want to probably cut Rally the Forces. Alright. I've convinced myself. Haven't seen if Thunderstaff is super powerful or not yet. We drew it in game 1 of match 1, but we were pretty far behind there on the mana screw. Didn't get any more information about our opponent's deck either. Not that we really have that much sideboard action going on. Liege of the Axe, okay. Fateful Showdown, okay. Giant's Ire, Bad Lava Axe. I do have a giant in my deck. The Changeling. Ooh, the Changeling's a vampire. Didn't think about that. Anyway, we're probably on the draw here. And this is a reasonable hand. 2-drop into 3-drop. Not a bad 3-drop. Not one that's likely to get in either, especially being on the draw. But Pegasus is a good start. Gets our Spectacle going. Enables Bloodthirst. Still playing out Mountains first in case we draw Mardu Scout. You never know, we might want to go and cast that instead. Double black from the opponent. Could mean they have a double black spell. Ooh, Puncture Blast, great draw. Go ahead and get Stormfront Pegasus out. It's more likely to be able to attack into anything my opponent plays. We already know about 3-3-drops. Uh-oh, opponent is mana screwed. That's not going to be good against Knight of Pilgrim. Sky Knight Legionnaire, we're just playing that instead, though. Get in there. This is not good for the opponent. This happened to me match 1, though, so. Wall of Averages. Might have been right to get the Knight down while my opponent's mana screwed. Smallpox. Oh, okay. That's not exactly great for my opponent. I'm going to sack a land. We're going to lose a life, sack a land, discard a card, and sack a creature. So it does kill one of my creatures, but it also makes my opponent lose a land here. So unless there were sandbagging lands here, that's not going to be super effective. We'll pitch a Plains and sack a Plains. Okay. Sack Stormfront Pegasus, just worse than Sky Knight Legionnaire. And sack a Plains. See, my opponent was sandbagging a land there. They discarded the Mindsucker again. And that dealt a damage to them as well. Alright, what else you got, opponent? Still your turn. I don't think you really want a Smallpox when you're stuck on lands, but I guess it kills one of my creatures. Because if they didn't have anything to do on 2 mana, it means they've now got to top deck 2 more lands, which means it's very unlikely they're going to play anything next turn. Just go ahead and play this Knight here. That's Time Spiraled Smallpox as well. And as it is, we're just going to keep jamming with Sky Knight Legionnaire. Another land wouldn't even be that bad. With Welkin Guide, it means that this thing's going to probably Renown no matter what. Remember, Renown only happens once. Once the creature hits, it becomes Renown and gets the counter. And then it is Renowned, so it won't trigger anymore. I'm half expecting a concession here if my opponent doesn't draw lands, but we don't know what they have in their deck. Another black mana, at least, which they drew. Gonna attack with both, and then play Mesa Unicorn. And this game is close to over. Opponent's at 8. I'm going to have Lethal on board with a Puncture and Blast. Even without Puncture and Blast, if I draw a land, then Welkin Guide can go ahead and jump Knight, and then that'll be 6, 7, 8 damage. So I've got Lethal if I draw a land and my opponent has a creature, and I've got Lethal just on board and my opponent doesn't draw anything, and if they have a creature that dies to Puncture Blast, then that's it. So anticlimactic there, but that puts us at 1-1, and I'll see y'all for match 3. Alright, match 3 up. If this was like a Stormfront Pegasus, this hand would be great, actually. I would probably just run a 2-drop into Frenzied Rage no matter what. I think my best draw here would be a Danto Vanguard. Basically, any 2-drop would be good. But I am not going to mulligan this hand. I am on the play as well, which has been fortunate enough to get to play a lot. Opponent mulled to 6 and scryed to the bottom. Alright, 2-drop, 2-drop. Stormfront Pegasus. Alright, hey, I wasn't even being greedy there. As it is, my hand doesn't actually do anything. Swift Kick really bad with Lightning Elemental. Up against another red deck? What? Okay. Well, Stormfront Pegasus is a little late here, but it's fine. Well, that's how you know we weren't in the same draft with at least the other person. They're probably attacking into me. Can't block it. Or at least can't trade for it. Alright, let's see what their follow-up is. I'm tempted to just go Frenzied Rage on this thing. Fire Striker. Whenever this and at least 2 other creatures attack, target creature can't block this turn. Okay. Not bad, not bad. Alright, I was just thinking, if I draw a land, do I run out Lightning Elemental here? I think I do. Then we're trading 2 for 2. I could also just play Lightning Elemental and then save Rally the Forces for next turn. So yeah, I think that's fine. I'll play Lightning Elemental and hope my opponent doesn't have Shock or some nonsense. Or, you know, basically any red burn spell. Yep, Lightning Elemental coming down. And we'll just pass. Wouldn't mind just drawing lands here. Drawing a mountain next turn would be fine. I could go Frenzied Rage up the Lightning Elemental. That way it doesn't just trade for Ashmound. As it is, if they leave Ashmound back, I can't go for the Rally the Forces, because First Strike doesn't matter if the Ashmouth Hound pings my Lightning Elemental. My opponent just had to have another one of the creatures that I mispronounce every time I say. They just had to have the one creature that I can't pronounce. Assume I'm getting attacked by both of these, though. Really attacking with the Ashmouth Hound. Okay. I think that'd be the one creature they leave back, right? And attack with the other one. I didn't attack into them, so clearly I'm not willing to make this trade, right? Which means I'm more likely to just take this. And this holds back my 4-1 by itself. So a little weird that they attack with this one, but not that one. Greatsword, +3/+0, but 3 to equip. That's good. It's a decent mana sink, but it's not. It does use a whole turn, right? As it is, I get to go ahead and jam with everything, and I assume I'm going to get to use my Rally the Forces here. Even if it just kills a creature, that's fine. Oh, that was dumb. I should have gone for Frenzied Rage on this. I can do that next turn. If my opponent's play is just to equip, then I feel pretty good about this. Would not mind getting Harrier Griffin down at all, because it plays really well against Smashmouth Hound. And yeah, if they don't play another creature, I can Frenzied Rage this, but no, that's fine, actually. That's fine. It's fine, it's fine. Harrier Griffin also plays well with Swiftkick. Man, Swiftkick's actually really bad in my deck, isn't it? Skinbrand Goblin. So 2 mana, 2/1. Blood Rush doesn't matter if it's in your hand. Ooh, I am going to get to go for the Frenzied Rage here. Okay. If I draw a land, I'm just going to play Harrier Griffin. Okay. Can't play both of those, so I'm going to go ahead and Frenzied Rage up Lightning Elemental. And attack for 8. Put our opponent down to 7. Alright. Opponent's on mono red here? Or maybe not. I mean, they mulligan. They might be on another color. These are super aggressive. Ooh, okay, they drew black. So the game is just bust wide open. If they kill Lightning Elemental, then that's pretty good for them. Pretty good for them. Balustrade Spy. So 2/3 flyer. And it mills me until I hit a land. Oh, they milled themselves. Gathen Raiders? This card's great. Alright. Weird they milled themselves there. Wonder if that matters for their deck. Okay, didn't attack, which makes sense. So here, I don't have a clear attack with Stormfront Pegasus. If I attack with Lightning Elemental, they kind of have to double block. I get to eat 2 of their dudes, and then play out Harrier Griffin, which can Swift Kick, right? Could also dash Mardu Scout, which doesn't stack up well with Ashmound. Discard. If I dash Mardu Scout, this is a lethal attack. with this plus this, they have to block at least one of them. I think I'm just playing Harrier Griffin and passing. Yeah, I like this. I'm just going to play the 3/3 flyer and pass the turn. See what else they add to the board or if they kill any of my creatures. If not, I get to tap down something and have a much better attack next turn. At the very least, I could tap their flyer and just attack with Stormfront Pegasus. Also, this is better for my Swift Kick here, since right now Swift Kick plus Harrier Griffin kills anything, takes out the flyer, that's great. That would be 6 damage. For 4 mana, this could have given you some toughness, right? +1/+0 and fight. It's ridiculous. Gotta see what the opponent does here first, though. Yeah, so Gathan Raider's really good. You play it face down as a morph, and then you discard your last card to flip it face up, and it's 5/5. Really attack with this? This feels like a raid trigger or something. Or like Bloodthirst or something. That or they thought I was just going to block it with my 3/3 since these would trade. Something that some people might miss. Oasis Vanguard, just a vanilla 3/3. Alright, so my turn, let's tap the flyer. Yeah, I think we just win here. Yeah, tap the flyer, Swift Kick the Skin Brand, and then attack with everything. They can't block the lightning dude. Yeah. So 1, 2, not playing around, Slaughter Pact, just in case they do have Slaughter Pact. Alright, so opponent just red-black aggro. Which means we don't really want too many expensive cards. Oh, the whatchamacallit, the pingy thing seems really good. This is 3 2/1s just off the bat. Granted, this a lot of times you won't even cast it. You'll just keep it in your hand, but it's fine. Alright. Opponent deciding there for a long time whether or not they were dead. Then go into -8. So we want Arcane Teachings. I do not want Rally the Forces. Fateful Showdown's probably fine against an opponent who has, you know, a bunch of X1s. Crazed Goblin is not. I like this a little bit more because it matches up very well against 2/1s. So I think I'm going to bring in these two, and I'm going to cut probably Lightning Elemental. Maybe not. Lightning Elemental does hit hard. Swift Kick has just been the suckage. And things that are really bad on the draw. All my 2-drops, I'm still keeping those in, still keeping in Frenzied Rage for the potential cheese win. Still going to keep the 6-drops. I'm thinking Swift Kick or Lightning Elemental. A 4-mana X1, or which is really bad against Ash Mouth Hound, or Swift Kick, which is just bad. Let's get rid of Swift Kick. And let's go ahead and go to game 2. No, I would not like to take a screenshot. Ooh, this seems really good. I don't think this interacts with Blood Rush at all. You get to play Mardu Scout on turn 2. Probably going to trade it off for anything that's not a Hound. And draw non-lands would be great. Maybe I'm supposed to be a 16-land deck and not play the Griffin or something like that. I don't have any card advantage, though. Alright, they do have the Hound, so Scout not looking so good. But we're still going to play it here. Does mean they're less likely to attack into us, since I can then attack them back. Again, if you keep a 5-lander, you will always draw a land for your next one. It's just rule of law. Great sword, sure. Opponent might go for the big hits here. They're not attacking right now, I don't think. There's no point taking a turn to deal 2 damage if it means I'm going to deal 3 back to them. Drawing a spell here would be awesome. Instead, it's just another blank. If they go Great Sword, that's good for them, but it does use up their turn. They're not adding to the board if they do that. Oh, what is this? Liliana's Reaver? Oh, Jesus. Another land? Are you kidding me? As it is, Liliana's Reaver does trade for Mardu Scout, so that's fine. But if this ever hits us, we discard a card and they make a 2/2 zombie. It's really good. I mean, 9 lands? Like, come on now. Kept a 5-lander, we've literally drawn 4 lands in a row. All planes, too. Puncture in, what is it? The puncture and blow? That's not it. Puncture and whatever would be really good against the Reaver here. Basically, anything that's not a land would be a good draw. This thing has Death Touch as well, which isn't going to matter too much, I don't think. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. Probably just trade Coalition Honor Guard here. Don't think I'm supposed to be taking 5. That might be them just trying to free up their hand for a removal spell from Mardu Scout. Yep. Alright, well, that's not good. Probably going to concede this game. I could still draw something, but they're going to get so much value off this stupid Reaver. I've drawn very poorly this game, so I can't really keep up. The Greatsword's not even really a factor. They can just attack here. I'll see what my next draw is, because a 2/3 does match up fine against 2/2 zombies. So if I can kill Reaver, then maybe it's okay. Also depends on what they play here. My deck is not equipped to beat these rares that my opponents have been playing, though. Gurmag Angler, sure. Not adapt to play that either. So, let's get beat down, and then try this again. Hopefully don't draw 5 friggin' lands. And I don't think any of my cards have gotten better here. Gurmag Angler, if anything, is better against Lightning Elemental. Don't think I want a 4-mana 3/3. Maybe I want Rally the Forces here against some of their spells. Virulent Wound is good to know about. It does make Lightning Elemental a lot worse. I don't really have creatures. Apparently I ended up with all X1s. Panic Attack seems bad. Yeah, I'll just run it. My opponent, if they look, they did get to see what my morph was there, by the way, since they're revealed at the end of the game. So if I play a morph, they're almost certainly going to know it's Liege of the Axe. I'm not going to bank on them having different morphs either. If they play a morph, I'm going to assume it's Galvan Raiders or whatever that card is called. But we got a little bit crushed that game. Greatsword looking pretty bad from the opponent, though, to be honest. Maybe not. It did let their Hound attack into my Coalition Honor Guard. But I drew very poorly that game anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. Like, very poorly. Come on, curve out. Yeah, my opponent has Liliana's Reaver. My first round opponent had Slagstorm and Spite-Mare. Our top end card is like a common. So I guess Elite Scale Guard's probably our actual best card if we look at it. And the opponent again taking forever with the sideboard in. It's not that hard. You're red-white. You're red-white. Or red-black. Just bring in things that are good against red-white and you'll be good. Rally the Forces could be okay here. Might be better than Thunderstaff. Curve out. Okay, this does curve out. This is a nice open in hand. Gonna play Vanguard on turn 2, I believe. Since it's kind of like Mardu Scout, that's harder to kill. Virulent Plague is good against Adanto Vanguard, though. I believe it puts a -1 counter on a creature, or gives it -1/-1, both of which play well against Vanguard. Oh no, they showed us that. Oh, Sky Knight Legionnaire? Alright, I'm just going to play Vanguard here. Also, I played a Plane, so I'm definitely playing Vanguard. Ooh, this is a Vampire, right? Oh, if I can play Rakashare and get this Vanguard in there, then it'll be out of range for Virulent Plague. Opponent played 2-mana 2/1. They might block here. I'm gonna play... And let's just play Sky Knight Legionnaire. Get guaranteed damage in here, not go for anything cute. If they block, I'll pay 4 for the Vanguard, but I don't think they're blocking. Pay 4, destroy target creature. Guess that's fine. Could have also played Mardu Horde Chief here. Alright. Good play from the opponent if they think they can race us long term. 2 mana, deal 4. Alright, they do have the black mana. Probably just drew that, but we don't know. I'm going to play Rakish Air, I think. Opponent does have mana for Virulent Wound. If I play Rakish Air and they kill a Danto Vanguard, that's not even that bad, really. At least Sky Knight Legionnaire gets to get in there. They could also just not have the wound, I suppose. Looks like they do. Puncture Blast. Oh, gives a Wither. So making my guy indestructible doesn't do anything. Very interesting. We've seen a lot of the same cards here. Neat one. Yeah, giving my guy indestructible didn't matter there. Dire Fleet Hoarder, I mean, it does stop me from attacking with Rakish Air, so that's fine. But I do get to play Sky Knight Legionnaire and Horde Chief here. I could also dash the Scout. I don't hate that. This gives them a treasure token, which I don't think is going to be super useful for them. And they probably have to block Rakish Air. I think I'm actually going to just attack with Sky Knight Legionnaire and play my 2 guys, rather than get the air. Or I'm going to attack with Sky Knight Legionnaire, not Rakish Air. And just raid out this dude and play Mardu Scout. Not do anything super fancy here. Not give my opponent a treasure if I can avoid it. And this guy will come along with a 1/1. Griffin, again, good top end here when you haven't drawn 8 lands. So if I draw another land, I can cast the Griffin, and if not, I'm going to draw a spell I can cast. Most of my spells are relevant here. Lash Out as well? Jeez. Opponent with the good removal. Do I want the land, or do I want something else? I just feel like this Harrier Griffin's going to be good. I'm going to go ahead and keep the land on top. Opponent revealed... This is annoying. What did they reveal? Oh, here it is. Lightning Strike. Holy crap. Lash Out, Lightning Strike, Puncture Blast. So I assume they kept it on top. They did, in fact, keep Lightning Strike. I need them to use that before I play this Harrier Griffin, though. So they have Lightning Strike in hand right now, plus 3 other cards. But yeah, Jesus. I mean, that's a really good removal. Puncture Blast, Lash Out, Lightning Strike. Anything else? Do you have an actual Bolt? Makes my 6-mana 3/3 look very embarrassing. Also, my opponent knows I kept a land on top. So, maybe they Lightning Strike here? I can't cast this card when they have Lightning Strike in hand. That I know about, right? Just doesn't make sense. Keep in mind, the Lash Out also dealt 3 damage to me because my opponent did win that clash. I think I was probably supposed to actually put the land on the bottom, because I will eventually draw a 6th land and be able to cast this, but it's good right now. Gathan Raiders straight up. Okay. That does kind of stop me from attacking. Can't play this. Just going to pass here. No point attacking with the Scout. My opponent's going to go ahead and probably cast all their spells here. Dagger Claw Imp. 3/1 flyer that can't block. Alright, maybe I can cheese them. Oh, this is really good, but the Lightning Strike. This is really good against them. Alright, let's see if we can cheese them into using Lightning Strike here. Because what I imagine I'll do is play Mardu Scout, or attack with Mardu Scout. They'll Lightning Strike, make this a 5/5, and eat my Scout, but at least I'll get the strike out of their hand. And then I can play the Harrier Griffin or Arcane Teachings and start shooting their creatures down. They could also trade there. Yeah, opponent playing around stuff they don't know about? It's nonsense. I can't stick Arcane Teachings here. Yeah, play out their land. Gathen Raiders, I assume, is going to attack here. Maybe not. I'm going to take 3. Probably going to have to run this stupid Griffin out and just let them lightning strike it and then hope the Teaching's good next turn. Very annoying. Unless I draw a creature here that's relevant. Plains. God, am I really going to have to do that? If not, they get to just keep getting in there with Daggerclaw Imp. Oh my god. Alright. I gotta deal with Daggerclaw Imp at some point. They're gonna Lightning Strike this. I can't believe my opponent has not used this Lightning Strike. It seems extremely conservative. I think they should have used it by now, and it's just so inconvenient that I had a 6-mana 3/3. Supposed to do that a turn earlier too if I knew they weren't gonna jam this Gathen Raiders in. Yep, well hopefully Arcane Teaching sticks now. I can at least kill Daggerclaw that way. Alright, opponent not attacking with the 5/5. Just nonsense. Honor Guard. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can cast both of these. So 1, 2, 3, foe. And then Arcane Teachings up. I suppose just the warrior token. I want to put it on Honor Guard because it makes it a 4/6, but guess put it on the thing that's most unlikely to be able to be killed here. Opponent's reading the card. Alright, I'm at 7 against an opponent who has infinite burn. They've drawn a lot of lands too, so they're not likely to flood out or anything. But I do get to shoot down their immediate threat. They have to always play their spell pre-combat or have instants for Gathen Raiders to matter much. Watch this be a stupid pump spell too. No blocks. Ping. Tragic Slip, gotcha. Alright. I mean, that gets pinged down here. Alright, so just gonna ship the turn and ping down Fire Striker. Fire Fist Striker. Need to draw a Pegasus or something. Something that pressures them here. A lot of their creatures are going to die to Mardu Horde Chief at the moment. Let's go ahead and ping Fire Fist. Alright, I think the game is back in our control. Mesa Unicorn's fine draw. Still not in a position to attack my opponent at all, though. Can't even threaten the, 2 damage on them if they block and then ping it, because they could just cast whatever spell or do whatever they have in hand there. Combust. 5 damage to target white or blue creature. Well, that's convenient. That was definitely sideboarded, of course. Sure. Drew land. If they attack, I'm just blocking with all of these. Alright. Go ahead and pass. Did I forget to ping him there? I did. I missed the damage. I could draw my 3 damage Wither spell. That would be really good, because that would make this a 2/2, and as soon as they draw any cards, they die. They are flooding out, though. But we need to draw something before they draw something. So the Wither spell would kill Gathen Raiders. Not right away. Okay, well, we're going to flood out back. Each player has drawn 10 lands. They drew an 11th land. Okay. Thunderstaff. Okay, that doesn't really do too much. I'm going to cast it, though. That means this could get up to 3 power. Yeah, it's not super effective. It does prevent damage from creatures hitting me, but that's not too big of a deal. It doesn't prevent that damage to my creatures, though. So it doesn't make my blocks better or anything. I think my best draws here are Stormfront Pegasus, Frenzied, or Maniacal, what is it called? The Frenzy Doohickey +2/+1 and Menace would be a good draw. I could stick it on the Unicorn here. Go and shoot them. Closing the gap. Sure. Of course. Okay. Well, now we're at parity again. Alright. Fine draw. Command the Storm, really? Really? Alright, Ashmouth Hound is fine. Again, if they attack with Gathan Raiders, I'm going to block with this, this, and this. Just trade 3 for 1, which isn't good, but it's okay. Actually, I could just Tump with the Warrior and attack with all 3 creatures, and I have Thunderstaff up. Then what do they hit me back for? 5, 6, 7. But I'm going to gain 3. Could also just take 4 here. That's a risky move. I'm going to do this, though. Hopefully I just draw another creature or something. Okay, Liege of the Axe is fine. I'm just going to cast that face up. I'm not going to be super fancy or anything. I do think I'm going to attack with everything here. If they block the Unicorn, then the Racket Chair gets in there. Go ahead and Thunderstaff here. So I'm getting in at least 6 damage this turn. Alright, they block Racket Chair. That means my Lifelinker survives. So I'm going to go up to 10, and they're threatening me back with a 5/5. Not being too fancy with this guy. His Vigilance doesn't really matter. What's it do? It untaps itself when you morph it? Ugh. I do have Lethal next turn if they don't have anything here. I'm not going to go for it, of course. I'm just going to attack with the Pegasus. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going for lethal or anything like that. Just get in with Pegasus and Thunderstaff it. This makes Pegasus lethal on its own next turn, even without Thunderstaff. Wonder what they drew that they didn't play it or cast an instant on their turn. Fatal Attraction. 3 mana, enters the battlefield. It deals 2 damage to enchanted creature. At the beginning of your upkeep, deals 4 damage to enchanted creature. Okay. So it just kills that. It's fine. Back at parity. So I gotta really think about whether I'm attacking in on my opponent here and playing around some sort of trick or not. Clearly that was what they drew this turn, though. Do I go for it? What could they have? Like, destroy target attacking creature? I'm going to go for it. They didn't do anything different last turn. They drew this. They could have a removal spell here. Actually, I don't even need the Thunderstaff. Alright, we got it. Cool. So we won our play points back, which means we get to just roll this. That's the goal. Make the play points back, do another one, make the play points back, do another one. So as long as we're going 2 and 1, we get to keep playing, which is nice. That was fun. I think my deck was kind of a stinker compared to my opponent's decks, my first round and last round opponent had really good decks, and my second round opponent even seemed like they had kind of a game plan, but got mana screwed in the last game and then smallpox themselves. I'm not sure why. But that was fun. We will expect more of these, so let me know if you like the Chaos drafts. Hopefully we'll draft something a little bit more exciting next time. But as always, I appreciate you watching. Be on the lookout for more content here on Mana Rocks. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I love hearing from you guys, so if you want to comment, let me know about this Chaos draft, then let me know. And I'll try to get back to you. So, again, thanks for watching. My name's Timothy here with Mana Rocks. Join us for more Chaos drafts in the future, and be on the lookout for By Force with Ravnica Legions coming up soon. All right, see you guys next time.